Have you ever worked very hard, prayed every day, yet your life still feels stuck? Have you ever watched people who started with you move ahead, while you remain in the same place wondering what you did wrong? This is the story of James, and the hidden signs that someone may be using your destiny. James was a Christian. He loved God with all his heart. From the day he gave his life to Christ, he made a promise to always live right. He avoided bad friends. He prayed every morning and night. He went to church faithfully. He believed God with a childlike faith, trusting that his life would one day become beautiful. But life did not treat James well. University was hard for him. While others seemed to move forward easily, James struggled from one semester to another. Sometimes he did not have enough money to eat well. Other times he missed classes because he could not afford transport. Still, he did not complain. He prayed and believed that once he graduated, everything would change. James finally graduated. He was full of hope. He printed his certificates and started applying for jobs. Day after day, he submitted applications. Week after week, he waited for calls. Month after month, nothing happened. Bills started piling up. James took menial jobs just to survive. He washed cars. He carried loads in markets. Sometimes he worked all day and earned barely enough to eat. At night, when his body was tired, his heart was even more tired. He prayed. He fasted. He cried to God. But things did not get better. Instead, they became worse. His life became stagnant, like water that refused to move forward. People started mocking him. Is this not James that went to university? What happened to all the prayers? Christianity does not pay. Some people laughed. His mates got married. They bought cars. They built houses. They traveled. They shared pictures of their children. James had none of those. No job. No wife. No children. Many relationships left him. Some friends stopped calling him. Some ladies rejected him because he had no money. Even relatives avoided him. What hurt him the most was that he was trying, yet nothing worked. As if that was not enough, James started having strange dreams. In the dream, he would see himself standing with something precious in his hands. Suddenly, a person whose face was always covered would appear. That person would snatch the thing from him and run away. James would cry. He would beg. He would chase the person. But the person would always disappear. James would wake up crying. This dream happened again and again. It started after he gave his life to Christ. Each time he woke up, his heart would feel heavy. He could not understand why his life felt empty, even though he loved God. One night, after having the dream again, James sat on his bed and wept. God, he cried softly, what is wrong with my life? Why is everything hard for me? Why do I feel like something has been taken from me? That was the night James decided to open up to his pastor. The next day, James went to see his pastor. When he entered the pastor's office, he could no longer hold back his tears. The pastor looked at him with love and told him to sit down. My son, the pastor said gently, tell me everything. James opened his heart. He talked about how he struggled through university. He explained how he could not get a good job after graduating. He shared how he was doing small jobs just to survive. He talked about the mockery, the rejection, the loneliness, and the pain of watching his mates move forward while his own life stood still. Then James spoke about the dreams. He described the covered face, the snatching, the crying, the begging, the disappearance. The pastor listened quietly. When James finished talking, the room became silent. Then the pastor spoke words that shocked James. My son, the pastor said slowly, everything you described are signs that someone is using your destiny. James froze. Using my destiny? He asked in disbelief. Yes, the pastor replied. When a person's destiny is stolen or diverted, their life becomes stagnant. They work hard but see no result. They pray but struggle endlessly. They watch others move forward while they remain behind. Strange dreams like the one you described are also signs. James felt weak. Pastor, he whispered, how is that possible? The pastor explained patiently. Some people, because of jealousy, wickedness, or greed, use dark ways to take what does not belong to them. When they refuse to return it, the real owner suffers until restoration comes. But God never abandons his children. James swallowed hard. "Who could have done this to me?" he asked. The pastor shook his head. "Only God can reveal that," he said. "But first you must seek God's face." The pastor then gave James an instruction. "I want you to fast and pray for 3 days," he said. "Pray for restoration of your destiny. Ask God to expose whoever took what belongs to you. Ask God to return everything that was stolen." James nodded. He was afraid, but he also felt hope for the first time in many years. He thanked the pastor and left. The next day, James started fasting and praying. He prayed with tears. He prayed with faith. He prayed with desperation. "God," he cried, "restore my destiny. Give me back everything that was stolen from me. Expose whoever took what belongs to me. I surrender everything to you." On the 4th day, something strange happened. James' phone started ringing. One call, then another, then another. Companies he applied to long ago were calling him. They offered him good jobs, good positions, good salaries. James fell on his knees and cried. "Thank you, Jesus," he shouted. He ran to his pastor to share the good news, and the pastor rejoiced with him. But God was not yet done. On the 6th day of his fasting and praying, James received another call. This time it was from the village. "James," the voice said, "your stepmother is very sick. She keeps asking to see you." James was confused. "What happened to her?" he asked. "They say she suddenly fell sick," the caller replied. "She has been asking for you since then." James promised to come. The next day he traveled to the village. When he entered his stepmother's room, he was shocked by how weak she looked. As soon as she saw James, she started crying. "My son," she said. "Forgive me. Please forgive me." James was confused. "You have done nothing to me," he said. "Why are you begging me?" The woman cried harder. Then she confessed. She told James how, when he and her son were still children, she discovered that James had a very glorious destiny. Out of jealousy and fear, she used dark ways to take his destiny and give it to her own son. James felt his heart break. "So all my suffering," he said painfully, "was because of you?" The woman cried and nodded. James was angry. Without saying another word, he left the room. He returned to the city and went straight to his pastor. The pastor listened and then held James' hands. "My son," he said softly, "forgiveness is the final key. Unforgiveness can block the blessings of this new season God has brought you into." James struggled, but he remembered how much God had forgiven him. That day, James forgave his stepmother. Peace returned to his heart. He prayerfully chose one job among the many offers. In just 3 years, God changed his life completely. James got married. God blessed him with 2 children. His life became so beautiful that people could no longer remember his years of suffering. James' story became a testimony, a reminder that God restores destinies, reveals hidden battles, and turns pain into glory, and James never stopped thanking God. If the story blessed you, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us keep creating more inspiring Christian stories that touch lives and draw hearts closer to God. Thank you, and God bless you richly.